Hi, I'm Alena Murang, a sape musician and visual artist, and I'm doing my solo exhibition, Colours of the Highlands, in Hoan Gallery, Kuching. When I first walked in here, I was like, wow. I mean, when it's works that I've been working on for so long in my small studio in KL, and then seeing them up on the wall and in the frames, yeah, it was quite overwhelming actually. It's really nice. This show has been about a year in the making, I think, from when the gallery first contacted me. But the pieces in the show itself, I think the earliest piece is from 2013, but most of the works are from the last 3 years. As a child, I always really enjoyed drawing and painting, I guess as most children do, but that continued into my life as a teenager. I remember landscapes of Santubong with my crayons, and my mother, she's very into the arts, and so she really encouraged it. My father used to paint batik actually when he was a student. So they both really encouraged me with painting. I went on and did SPM art as well as an extra subject. But I have to say, I felt like I was not very good, wasn't very well versed in different medium or in you know, doing like portraits or abstracts. I just really enjoyed it. I was actually quite worried that a lot of the art pieces are different. But again, I think most of the work has come out of a process of 3 years, right? So much of the abstract work actually was painted during lockdown from 2020 up until 2022. And I think for me, the abstract work was very much an expression of something that I just cannot explain. And then with the arit or the swirls, it's something that I've been drawn to for many years, and you'll even see it on my album cover, on some of my merchandise as well, because the arit, it's a design that was originally kalabit. I've seen it in old black and white photos. It was carved into rocks, and it was carved into wooden panels in the longhouse. And you'll see also some of those swirls on tattoo patterns that the women tattooed. For me, I was wondering, gosh, why do we as Kalabit people, we no longer use this design? So I thought, if we were to still use this design today, what would it look like? What colors would it be in based on the medium that we have today? I'm not a wood carver, so how do I put that into paintings? And that's why you see some of these like very colorful arit. And I think the other question that I asked myself was, what are these swirls? Are they movements of the clouds? Is it movements of the wind? Is it the movements of the water? And so these are some things that I explore in the arit pieces. The black and white arit was the first one that I painted, and I guess for me it was two-part. It was kind of like, one was exploring what the design is. So for me to learn more about the design and what my ancestors carved out, I had to repeat what they did so I can understand more of the design. And I thought, like, while I was doing it, it was quite meditative and just very special. And so I felt like I just wanted to put this, you know, this very small figure inside it to show the immenseness of this design and all the thoughts that was going through my head. The Storyteller is a narrative of our oral traditions and how our oral traditions as Kalabit people, they only exist through song or through stories. A lot of these oral traditions actually skipped my father's generation for many reasons. I mean, my father's generation, they were the first to go to school. They went to boarding schools, so didn't spend a lot of time with their parents at home. There's a lot more emphasis put on getting a formal education as well, rather than learning these stories. We always say that my father's generation was the survival generation, whereas come my generation, we are the revival generation. So this picture kind of reflects the passing of those oral traditions from an older generation to a younger generation. And it comes with audio, and the audio that you'll hear are recordings of myself learning from different elders, and they're my own personal voice notes from my phone that we've stitched together and kind of to really show the meaning of this piece. This piece has been exhibited first in the Petronas Art Gallery and then at Rainforest Fringe Festival in Kuching. I think this piece is a very special piece, and I would love it to go somewhere where more people can appreciate it. Well, I see social media as another platform to tell stories, right? It can't just be promo or like getting people to come. I also want to tell stories without using words. What can we do? And I just wanted to show kind of, very much the down-to-earth videos of the kampong, not perfectly shot or anything. Videos that showed colors, like you'd see the color of the fire, you'd see the color of the rice, the purple rice, and then how they translate into paintings, even though it's not literally about that painting. It's my collective lived experience of the Highlands that's reflected in all of these paintings. It's not just, one incident that makes a painting. Some of my pieces use charcoal from a burnt down longhouse, and that longhouse is actually my father's longhouse, Long Pluan. It was burnt down in April 2018. When it burnt down, I wasn't around and I felt very, very sad. Nobody was hurt or anything, which was great, but just for us, a longhouse is so much a part of our identity because of the communal living and how we are as a community, the shared resources, how we build a longhouse together. It's very much a part of who we are as well. So I have an uncle who's an artist who lives in the longhouse, Uncle Elias, and I messaged him and I said, Uncle, can you please just save a small box of charcoal? For me, I want to make some artwork for it when I get back. And bless him, he gave me a huge box like this of charcoal. I didn't know what to do with it for a very long time. The charcoal is used a lot in my abstract pieces, and I think it's really an expression of hope that came out of it. And the last painting that I painted for this exhibition called Sedarir. Sedarir is actually a genre of a song, and this particular Sedarir I learned from the Port Midang maybe in 2016, and it's an old Kelabit song from the times of warfare. This Sedarir is sung by the whole kampong when all the villagers are coming back to their kampong after warfare and their kampong has been destroyed. And so this song is to give semangat to the young men to start rebuilding the longhouse. All of the portraits here are of people that I know, and for each one of them, I think they kind of had an impression on me. Some of them have a deep story to them, some of them don't, and I just kind of really loved that moment that I saw them. So I've always drawn a lot of our old Kelabit tepo or grandmothers or grand aunties because I feel like they've seen so much transition and they've been through so much hardship in their lives. And yet they're just the most loving, most caring people that you will meet, and they especially love, our generation of grandchildren, and they just treat us with just so much joy and happiness. And I think I really love that. I feel a lot of love from them. For me, of course, Sarawak has a very special place in my heart, and doing this exhibition in Hoan Gallery is very meaningful to me actually, because I don't think we've ever, in my time in Sarawak, I don't think we've ever really had a gallery like this in Sarawak. I think it's very well curated and there's a lot of thought and intention that goes into it. So I'm very grateful actually to be here, and I hope that many other artists as well have an opportunity to be here.